Chapter 1: The Caffeine Crush. In a quiet corner of the bustling city of Willowbrook, nestled among a row of charming shops, stood a small, unassuming coffee shop known as Caffeine Crush. The place exuded an inviting aroma of freshly brewed coffee that wafted through the quaint streets, drawing locals and visitors alike. This particular morning, the sun was just beginning its ascent in the sky, casting a warm, golden glow on the brick facades of the buildings. Inside Caffeine Crush, the atmosphere buzzed with the comforting hum of espresso machines and the gentle chatter of customers. The shop's walls were adorned with vintage coffee posters and bookshelves filled with well-worn novels, inviting patrons to linger a little longer over their favorite brew. Behind the counter stood Alice, the vivacious and quirky barista who brought a spark of joy to every cup she brewed. With a mane of unruly curls and a ready smile, Alice was known throughout Willowbrook for her quick wit and penchant for puns that ranged from delightfully clever to groan-inducing. On this particular morning, Alice was in her element, her eyes twinkling with mischief as she greeted customers and served up their daily doses of caffeine with a side of laughter. Her regulars often returned not just for the exceptional coffee but also for the daily dose of her humorous quips. Max, a charming and somewhat bookish freelance writer, was among those who frequented Caffeine Crush. He had been nursing a cappuccino at his favorite corner table for the past hour, his laptop open to a blank document. His scruffy beard and disheveled hair gave him an air of the quintessential writer lost in thought. Max was having a particularly stubborn case of writer's block that day. He had been struggling to find the right words for his latest article, and the blank screen mocked him with its emptiness. He sighed and rubbed his temples, hoping that another sip of caffeine would do the trick. With a resigned sigh, Max finally approached the counter to order another coffee. He cleared his throat, trying to sound confident, and said, "I'll have a caramel macchiato, please." Alice, always eager to brighten someone's day, grinned and grabbed a cup. She began frothing milk with a flourish, her hands moving gracefully as she expertly steamed it to perfection. Max watched in fascination, momentarily forgetting about his writer's block. As she poured the caramel syrup into the cup, Alice's concentration wavered ever so slightly. In a split second, her cappuccino art skills seemed to abandon her, and she accidentally poured a heart-shaped design instead of the traditional macchiato pattern. Max blinked in surprise at the heart-shaped foam floating on his coffee. He looked up at Alice, who had realized her mistake and was now blushing furiously. Alice couldn't help but giggle. "Looks like your coffee just found love," she quipped, her eyes dancing with mirth. Max chuckled, feeling a warmth spread through him that had nothing to do with the coffee. "Well," he said, "I hope it's a love story with a happy ending." Little did Max know that this amusing encounter at Caffeine Crush was just the beginning of a love story that would fill his life with more laughter and unexpected moments than he could ever imagine.